It's Wednesday. It's our very first Let's Have Lunch Wednesday. We used to do this on Fridays, but I decided I'm taking Fridays off for a little while. And so we moved it to Wednesdays. And so let's have lunch. So today I want to talk about hormone health. I am 54 years old. And I know that menopause, perimenopause is all right here in my present or future. So I've really done a lot of reading and talking to people who are already going through this or have already studied this, been following a lot of people on social media, and I'm really interested in figuring out what is going on with my body, what is going on with my mind, and why. So the first thing I looked into is exactly what is perimenopause. So according to Dr. Google, perimenopause is really just the word they use to describe that transition that you go through before the full menopause. And apparently this can last anywhere from like 4 to 10 years. And it can start anywhere in your 30s or 40s or maybe even 50s. It's not definable. It could be anytime, doing anything. Pretty much is what that boils down to. Not very comforting, is it? So listen, right off the bat, let me tell you, I am not a doctor. I do not work in the medical field. I'm an English teacher. But I am a woman who I believe is going through perimenopause. So I've done some research and just thought I would share it with you. Please don't take anything that I say as expert advice because I am no expert. This is just me doing some research and sharing with you what I've learned. So apparently perimenopause is when your ovarian function declines and your body starts releasing certain hormones like estrogen and progesterone at random times in random levels. It fluctuates wildly. I'm not talking about a little drip. I'm talking about a roller coaster without a seatbelt. It's just very inconsistent. It can make you feel great and happy and in a good mood today, and tomorrow you're depressed and sad and weepy, and the next day you're angry and you don't know why. The list of symptoms that are supposed to let you know you're in perimenopause is crazy long. I couldn't find anything that's not on the list, okay? So let's just talk about the most common symptoms. Number one, and probably the most obvious, is an irregular period. But if you're a woman like me and I have an IUD, I haven't had a period in 7 years. How am I supposed to tell? Well, there are other symptoms that you can be looking for. Vasomotor symptoms, which is going to be your hot flashes and your night sweats. But it doesn't stop there. Sometimes just a change in body temperature is enough to let you know that something is a little bit off. For instance, I haven't had any hot flashes or night sweats, but I have noticed that all of a sudden I'm very cold-natured. I mean, I've always been a little cold-natured, but now I'm like cold all the time. It's 80-something degrees outside right now in my classroom. Not uncomfortable for anybody else, but I'm sitting over here freezing, and I have a little space heater under my desk because I'm cold. And once I get cold, I can't warm up. So that could very well be a sign of perimenopause. Sleep disruptions are also a sign or a symptom. Trouble falling asleep or trouble staying asleep. Those are both pretty common. Mood changes and cognitive changes other people may notice about you before you notice them about yourself. These cognitive changes might also include a little bit of brain fog, which I have been noticing. Forgetting why you walked into a room as soon as you walked in there. Being in the middle of a sentence and forgetting what you were talking about. This kind of brain fog, leaving things places. That could be a sign that you're in perimenopause. Physical changes like weight gain or a distribution is off, mostly around your midsection. Headaches, heart palpitations, all of these things can occur to let you know that you're in perimenopause. Libido changes in your skin and your hair. One of the things that I've personally noticed is thinning. I'm thinning not only right here at the temples, but also in my eyebrows. These are also thinning. This is just because your body is releasing inconsistent amounts of estrogen and progesterone, and that's going to affect your hair follicles. Skin, dry skin. My skin has gotten a lot drier lately. I've always had pretty oily skin, and then all of a sudden here in the past couple of years, I've noticed, started with some dry patches on my hands and on my neck, but now I'm noticing them on my face as well. Some other weird symptoms that I have noticed personally, I'm losing my hearing. My hearing is off. Everything sounds very muffled to me. And I also have these random bouts of tinnitus. I don't actually know if it's tinnitus because I'm not noticing a ringing in my ears. It's more like a sound of white noise. Like I always think somebody's in the shower at home. I'm constantly running into the bathroom wondering who's in the shower, and it's nobody. But I feel like I'm hearing the water running. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. Eye changes, dry eyes, gritty eyes, blurry vision, a dry mouth, which I have been noticing. Tingling or numbness, or those little shocks that come out of nowhere, those little shocks that feel like they're under the skin. These are all symptoms of perimenopause that nobody really talks about. All we hear about are the hot flashes, the mood swings, and the lack of a period, but there's so much more. One of the books that I was reading is called The New Menopause by Dr. Mary Claire Haver. She also has a fabulous social media presence, so definitely find her on here. And she has a website where she sells her books. She has a blog. She has a podcast. Super informational stuff. A wonderful source of information. And her book, The New Menopause, is kind of where I started down this rabbit hole of perimenopause research. And the list that she gives of possible symptoms or signs of perimenopause is like endless. All of these things that could be signs that your hormones are fluctuating, things that you never hear. So it's definitely worth checking out if you're just hanging out on social media, on Instagram or TikTok. Not sure where else she is. Those are the places that I follow her. Another thing that I want to mention though is that when you start having these symptoms and you find out that they could possibly be perimenopausal, please don't just take my word for it or take anybody's word for it. Definitely check out with your doctor, because one of the things that I found out doing my research is that a lot of these symptoms that once I read them and I was like, oh, that could be perimenopause. That's what's going on. But they could also be thyroid issues. They could also be iron issues. They could also be diabetes. So there's so many other things that these symptoms could possibly point to. So definitely get a full workup from your doctor. I did that just the other day. I went in and had lots of labs drawn, lots of blood work done, had a complete physical, talked to my doctor about some of the things that I was noticing to make sure that these signs and symptoms aren't pointing to something else. So one of the things that Dr. Haver taught me in the stuff that I'm reading is what she calls the zone of chaos framework. She lets us know that this is not a slow and gentle phase that we're moving into. It's not a slow, gradual, easy decline. This is something much more turbulent. She describes it as a zone of chaos because this is not something your body can just gradually, easily adapt to. There's no adjustment period. And this is why the symptoms can feel so unpredictable and chaotic and very confusing. But one of the good things that I found out, and please don't think this is a plug for Dr. Haver. I have zero affiliation or association with her. She just happens to be somebody that I found on social media and trust and have read her books and I follow and really take into consideration the things that she says. But one of the things that I'm excited about is that on April 7th, she has a book called The New Perimenopause. Now at 54, I found out that my mom didn't go through menopause until her late 50s, maybe even early 60s. And like I said, since I have an IUD, I'm not really going to notice an absence of a period. So I'm looking for signs other places. And I don't think I'm in menopause yet, but definitely noticing some perimenopausal symptoms. So this not only affects you physically, but also mentally and emotionally, cognitively. Everything kind of works together because everything is affected by your hormones. So it's gonna feel crazy. You're gonna feel crazy. And it's okay. We'll get through this. So that is what I have found out about exactly what perimenopause is and how do you know if you're there. There's so many other things to learn. This is like it's like a mystery topic. It's like nobody really knows exactly what's going on, how long it's going to go on for, when it's going to start going on, and how it's going to present in you. Nobody can tell you anything definitive. We're all just learning as we go, but we got each other. So we're good. So that's what I've learned this week about hormone health. Check back with me next Wednesday. We'll have lunch again and we'll dive a little bit further. And if you have any specific questions or if there's anything that you want me to look into and find out so that we can talk about it on Wednesday, let me know. Drop me a comment or send me a DM and I am on it. We're going to figure this out together because that's what women do. We stick together and we figure it out. See y'all next week.